Good morning. This is the Blaine's World podcast that you'll hear conversations that are worth hearing and seeing. You can watch each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And for more information about past and present shows, you can visit our website, which is behind me, blainesworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield, and I'm here coming to you in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. And each week, we share positive news and uplifting stories about people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce a good friend, local movie reviewer, Mike Martinelli, for being my guest today. And Mike, you can feel free to wave to all your fans and friends on YouTube.
Hey, everybody from beautiful Fletcher, North Carolina.
Okay, I'd like to ask you a question, Mike, before we get into the show. And by the way, we're going to be talking about the Oscar nominations, which are coming up. But the question, Mike, I was wondering before we did the show, do you remember the very first film you ever saw?
Yeah, I was a little kid and it was called The War Wagon,
Okay. And that, how old were you about? Do you remember?
probably five.
Yeah. And what, that got you into movies?
Yeah, my mother used to take me to the movies every Saturday.
Oh, really cool. And you've been watching movies ever since.
I've been watching movies ever since. There,
Okay.
there was three great movie theaters in the town where I grew up
Where'd
that
you
we
grow up
used to.
again?
Clifton Heights, Pennsylvania. The movie theaters were all in Upper Darby, which was
Okay.
about a 20-minute ride from where I lived.
Very cool. And you remember when there were actually movie theaters in the neighborhood? What a great experience that was. And so, Mike, I know that ever since then you've been watching movies, and when I want a recommendation, I always turn to you, and I appreciate, the fact that you share them. And so let's get right into today's show. And you and I have done this in the past, but we're going to talk about the Oscar nominations. And the Oscars are coming up with this coming Sunday.
This Sunday at 7 o'clock on
Okay.
ABC.
And so again, you've seen more of the movies than anybody else I know. What do you think about the upcoming Oscars? Are you excited about them?
I think they're going to be good. I think the interesting thing is that I don't know if you heard, but starting in 2029, the show's moving from ABC to Netflix.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see that. But let me talk to you about the films that you have seen and are up for this year's Oscars. And by the way, before we go any further, who's the host?
Conan O'Brien.
Okay, it should be good. Even though I miss Crystal, but Conan should be pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And so, Mike, I'll leave this to you because, again, you're my movie guy. We got any order. What do you want to start with in terms of looking at some of the nominations?
I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go from the back of my list. And this is a brand new category that they have out this year. It's called Best Casting.
Interesting.
And the nominees in that category are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. And I think hands down, Sinners will win Best Casting.
Okay, now
It had an excellent cast.
I haven't seen it yet. You have?
I have.
Okay, worth watching?
It is. When I reviewed it, I gave it 4 stars, which I don't give a lot of things 4 stars, but it was really good. It's a little bit strange, but it's done really, really super well.
Okay, an interesting category. Do you think it'll take down some other Oscars?
It will. It definitely will.
And for the benefit, we won't necessarily talk about every film, but for the benefit of folks who don't know the film, if you give me kind of Reader's Digest version, keeping it under 2 hours, the summary of the film.
Sinners is actually broke Oscar records this year. It got 16 nominations,
Wow.
which was more than any movie has ever gotten.
Okay. And what's it about?
It is, and give me 1 second. Uh,
Take your time. We can pause, by the way, if you want.
yeah, pause me for a second, please.
Okay. Hello again. We're back with Mike Martinelli, my film critic guru and good friend. And Mike, we're talking about the film Sinners, and I asked you the question. You said, "Got wow, a lot of nominations. What's it all about?"
It is about twin brothers trying to leave their troubled lives behind. They return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that a greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And Michael B. Jordan, who won SAG last week, is nominated for Best Actor this year for that part. He plays two roles. He plays twin brothers,
Okay,
and
and
he's
very
really
great
great.
actor. I love him in anything he's in.
He is. He's a great actor, and I think that, and we will get to this later, but he is probably in a two-way race with Timothy Chalamet. I think that they're the two top contenders.
Okay, and so it sounds like it's definitely worth recommend seeing that film.
Yes, absolutely. It's available to stream on Netflix.
And it's so funny you started out with that category, but it's such a cool category and it's such an important one, you know. And same thing too, I have the feeling specifically about local shows, you know, if they hit the casting, it makes the whole difference, you know. So a good first choice. After that, what do you want to look at?
After that, we will go to visual effects. And this was the pick by Gold Derby. And I hadn't seen a lot of these movies, but I'm going to go with what they picked, Avatar, Fire and Ash, because I did some clippings and the visual effects in that movie are really great.
Now, did you see whereas this is they had another Avatar. This is the second one?
This is like the third or fourth one.
Okay. So I remember, maybe you'll convince me otherwise. I saw the original and I didn't love it. You know, I don't know if you remember the original,
I
but
do.
yeah, so I didn't want to see another one. But visual effects, interesting. Talk, Mike, also about your process, which is really cool. You not only see a lot of films, but then you also read more about the films than anybody else I know. What do you do to keep up on films?
I do. I keep up with them on a website called Gold Derby.
Okay, I'm not
And
familiar with
they
them.
have great races and they have podcasts and they have video streams. If you subscribe to their YouTube page, it's Gold Derby, and they have odds that are combined odds, which is everybody. Then they have some that are just the uh, award experts, and then they have another category that's just the editors. And
So
then they have
I'm sorry. Do you recommend people
like
check it out? Do you
yeah,
recommend?
but it's a great site.
I'll
It's a
put it
great
down. What is
site.
it? Gold?
Gold Derby.
Now, now does that also give you summaries of the films and other reviews?
It they do. They send out summaries and they send 2 to 5 posts a day.
Okay, wow. How about the do they show the clips of films?
They do in the posts on Facebook.
And because the one I use, but I'm losing some interest in it, is a Rotten Tomatoes. Do you still
Mhm.
use Rotten Tomatoes?
I have it, but I don't use it a lot.
How about Metacritic? You don't use
Mm-mm.
that?
I no, I just basically stick with the Gold Derby reviews.
Okay, thanks. Good recommendation. So, visual effects. After visual effects, what are you looking at?
Uh, Next category is Best Sound, and the nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Surat. I am going with what Gold Derby picked two, F1. I think the sound in that was great. That was the Brad Pitt movie with a race car movie, and the sound was absolutely incredible.
So you
I
saw
don't,
that one. You saw that one?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. It was
Now,
a really good movie.
now let me ask you, Mike, in terms of folks such as myself, I'm not really a big racing fan. Do you still recommend seeing it?
Absolutely. It was really done well.
Okay, so even for people aren't into racing films, but okay, I'll keep that in mind. After that, what's next?
Next is Best Live Action Short Film. And they are all available to stream. Uh, the nominees are Butcher Stain, And I have not been able to find that. It's supposed to be able to stream, but I haven't found it yet. A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, Two People Exchanging Saliva, and I have not watched that yet. Uh, I'm going hands down with A Friend of Dorothy. It's a great live action short film that deals with a boy whose soccer ball goes into a lady's yard and he rings the bell, and it develops this beautiful friendship between him and, as it turns out, he's gay, and she just absolutely made such a connection with him, and they just became the greatest of friends.
Now, is that on streaming? You can see it?
That is on you. Yes, you can stream that on YouTube.
And so it's interesting about streaming. Tell folks, so you have YouTube, you have Netflix. What else do you have on streaming?
We've got pretty much all the streaming services. Showtime, Paramount Plus,
Wow.
Peacock. I did give that in my review on the short films. That film is so good that I gave it 4 stars.
Now,
And
am I the only one? But in streaming, I really dislike watching anything on Amazon Prime. Do you watch anything on Amazon Prime?
we do not a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just
it,
go ahead.
Amazon is to me though, they're one of the better ones. Their sound system is good. I've got a whole home theater unit here at my house. I've got a 75-inch ultra 4K high def television and a Dolby Atmos 7.1 surround system.
And you have a popcorn machine?
I don't have a popcorn machine. That'll be on my next. I'll put it on my list for Christmas next year.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. One of the things I dislike about Amazon, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Mike, but they cut out parts of films, to get a certain time frame work or before a
Yeah,
commercial break. They actually cut out films, and that really annoys me. So I try to boycott Amazon Prime. Interesting. So keep that in mind if anybody's watching. Mike's looking for a popcorn machine. How
I
cool would
am
that
looking
be?
for a popcorn machine. But
Give it.
yeah, that Friend of Dorothy was picked, besides me. Gold Derby has that picked as the film that's going to win Best Live Action Short Film.
Didn't one of theirs, was it Carolinas or one of them, used to run a series of all the short film?
They do. They were doing it this week. They're doing it, I think, towards the end of the week.
Okay, but I guess with
But
streaming now, there's less of a need to get over there to see it.
but the thing is too is you have to pay a separate admission for each one.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, and I don't agree with that. Like if you go for the short animated short, you have to leave the theater and then go back for the live action if you want to see both. And I don't think that that's fair.
Well, especially if you can see it on streaming too, where you can just
Yes.
watch it at home.
Now the
Interesting.
next one is Best Animated Short. I just started watching this. There's one that's not available. All of them are available. The nominees are Butterfly, uh, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is not available. I went with Forever Green. It's a sweet story. Gold Derby actually is going with Butterfly, which was a good film, but I thought Forever Green was really, really good. The interesting thing is, in the Gold Derby odds, nobody picked that one,
It's funny.
but I thought it was one of the better ones.
In
And
terms of
I
Oscar nominations or nominations in general, I've never been a big fan of animated films. Do you like
I'm not a
animated
fan
films?
of animated either,
Yeah.
but for Evergreen, it is a short subject, and it is 13 minutes, and it is just the cutest film. It's an orphan bear cub finds home with a fatherly evergreen tree until his hunger for trash leads him to danger.
Okay.
And
Sounds That
It's
sounds cute.
really worse. And like I said, it's only 7 minutes. So that's a good thing about some of the short films.
Right. And if not, if you're tired of it, you can stop it before the seven
You can
minutes.
stop it.
And let me ask you a
Next
question, Mike.
category. Go ahead.
Hold
Sure.
a second. We were talking about this off the air. Do you ever start watching a film and then stop watching it?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever do it in terms of when you have to pay for it?
Uh, I haven't done it in a long time, but I have in the past.
Okay, so it's not enjoying it, I guess, not worth staying for. Next category, Mike.
Is best production design. And that is nominees are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. And I am going to go with Frankenstein because I think production design is like the sets and the things that they use to create the sets. And I think usually a musical wins this category. And for some odd reason, uh, the Academy totally snubbed, and I was furious. The part two of the Wicked movie. It was totally shut out from any nominations. And that was, I don't know why they did that, but I was not real happy with that they did that. And neither were a lot of people online or a lot of the critics.
And part two, so you saw it. Do you recommend it?
Yes, they're both good. It's, they split it up. What they did with Wicked was, and the reason they split it up into two parts a year apart, they took and they combined the book and the Broadway musical uh, to create the movie. And that's why it ended up being almost 6 hours if you watch both of them.
Right. Now, is that a film? If you didn't see the first part, could you have enjoyed the second part?
Not really. You really need to see the first part to kind of figure out. Part two kind of picks up where part one left off, but I would say you really need to watch both.
Okay,
And
so
like I said, since they're both so long, you could actually split it up
right.
in viewing.
And that's, by the way, I guess why a lot of people like streaming. That's the advantage of doing streaming. Um, if you don't want to say the whole thing. We're back again with my friend Mike Martinelli, and we're talking about films for the Oscars. But Mike gave kind of a really good recommendation just before about Wicked, the 6 hours. And even though it's 6 hours, do you recommend seeing it in one shot or breaking it up?
No, I would say, I mean, it's so long that I would say watch them like two separate days.
Okay, and watch part one before you watch part
Part
two.
one first, definitely.
Okay, well, thanks for that recommendation. And like you said, surprised didn't even get one Oscar nomination, which is surprising. And the year, not the year before, when the original Wicked came out, it got a bunch of nominations, didn't it?
It did, and it got a Best Picture nomination last year.
Okay.
And
After
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were both nominated.
you did win any Oscars?
It it won Oscars, but I have to.
Well, no, it's not necessarily not in major categories, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. It did win something last year, but I can't remember what it won.
Okay. After that, Mike, what's the next category?
Best original song.
Okay, now
Uh,
that's always an interesting one.
well, and this is interesting because for the 17th nomination, Diane Warren is actually nominated again, and it's another year she's not going to win. She's nominated for something called, she wrote Relentless, and I'm not quite sure. Uh, let me backtrack. She's nominated for a movie Relentless, which I've not seen, and song she wrote is called Dear Me. And I don't know anything about that. Uh, the other ones nominated is Golden from the K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy, Viva Verity, and Train Dreams, the theme from that movie, Train Dreams. Gold Derby went with Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, and I'm gonna go with that too, just because it's won everything as far as best song where it's nominated.
You know, it's funny, you talk about category, it used to be such a popular category, but that's when, Mike, I used to listen to radio, when people used to listen to radio. Here, you mentioned the songs, I don't know them, unless you saw the
Yeah,
films, and you don't get to hear them often. Interesting. The one that I'm disappointed in, it wouldn't have been considered in this category, but I'm sorry, nothing, the Neil Diamond film. Did you see that one?
I did. Yes, so that was a great film.
And you're talking, I loved it. It didn't get any nominations, did it?
It did.
Oh, did it? In what?
Yeah, Kate Hudson's nominated for
Oh,
that.
okay, good. But it's
Yes,
just
she
love.
is.
Didn't you love that film?
I did. I thought Hugh Jackman was great too, but he didn't get nominated in any of the awards this year for that either.
But like I said,
Kate did.
you mentioned songs, and that I just loved every song. They weren't original songs, but I love that movie. So Kate Hudson will get to her category in a second. Go ahead, Mike. What's next?
Next one is Best Original Score.
Okay.
And nominees are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I'm going with, and Gold Derby picked this too, Sinners. The score for that movie was great.
You got me interested now. I want to see the film based on what you're saying.
Yeah, it's really, really worth seeing. I think you'll really like it.
Is it available on streaming?
It is. It's on Netflix.
Oh, is it really? I'm putting it down.
On-
Accepting, and thank you for the recommendation because the premise of it didn't thrill me, but I love Jordan, and now you mentioned it has great screen, so I just put it down. Thank you. Do you think Cynthia would like it?
Yes, I do. I think she would.
Okay. Next category.
Next category is Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
Okay.
And nominees are Frankenstein, Kukosha, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. And Gold Derby, and I'm going to go with this too, even though I haven't seen the whole movie. I've seen just bits and pieces. I'm going to go with Frankenstein because I think the makeup and the hairstyling that they did with those characters was great. Of
Okay.
course, again, getting back to the snub for Wicked Forever, the hairstyling and the makeup was great in that too. But
Now you
it was
mentioned that film. You haven't seen the whole thing yet?
no.
Yeah, you show parts of it or
I saw just like some trailers. I watched a couple of the trailers.
okay, but will you see it?
I will, yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it this week.
Okay, yeah. Again, not one of my favorite films, but some people loved it. One of the few I did see. After that,
Mhm.
Mike.
Best international film.
Okay, again,
Uh,
haven't seen
Secret
any of these.
Agent. It was just an accident. Sentimental Value. Surat, and the voice of Hind Rajab. Gold Derby went with The Secret Agent. I'm actually going to go with Sentimental Value because I think it has a good shot of winning. Uh, it got a lot of nominations. It was like the third most nominated movie this year, kind of came out of nowhere. So it really was a surprise to everybody, even on the chatter on Gold Derby, that Sentimental Value got so many nominations.
Now, do you have a preference in terms of going to the theater or seeing it on streaming?
For international films, because they're subtitled, I'd rather watch at home.
Okay. And subtitles, just discussing with Cynthia, do you prefer subtitles or dubbed?
I prefer dub, but there's not hardly any of them that they ever put out that are dubbed.
They're dubbed because
Yeah,
Netflix now almost everything is dubbed. The films are, and it's funny. As a kid, Mike, I used to hate it. My mother would always say you should only like the original language. But I love watching. You get used to it. You get used to the delay, and it's not
yeah.
perfect. And I kind of like it better. It's just so much easier to watch it. when you watch a film, forgetting a international film, do you keep the subtitles on?
We do because my roommate, Donnie, needs to have the closed captions. So we do leave them on.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I like it because if you miss something, it
You
just
can back up.
reinforces
That's
it.
exactly what he said.
But the problem, Mike, and Donnie, if you're watching, I'll give a shout out to Donnie. But the problem is, if you're watching it, you notice so sometimes the what they're saying is different than what the subtitles are.
Hmm.
It's a little
It is.
disconcerting. It's completely not in sync, but still, I enjoy watching it. So, after that, Mike, what's next?
Next one is Best Film Editing. The nominees are F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Values, and Sinners. And I am torn on this category. Gold Derby went with One Battle After Another, but I am really torn between One Battle After Another and Sinners. Uh, and again, that Sentimental Value got a film editing nomination there, which was a really big thing for that film, especially since it's a foreign film. Uh, I think for film editing, I am going to go with One Battle After Another, same as Gold Derby did, because I think that the editing in that film was really good.
So now you saw that film, is that correct?
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
We
I'll
watched it here. It came out last September,
right, remember.
and I didn't see it in the movie theaters, but we watched it here. And it's another one that's really long. It's
What?
another one that's 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Because that's one I'll admit that I couldn't get into. I watched about maybe the first half hour. That was enough. You saw the whole thing. Do you recommend the film?
I do. I really do.
Yeah. Just didn't enjoy it, but that's again the beauty of
There was a
film.
time in the Academy history where it was very important for a Best Picture nominee to get a film editing nomination. That's not the case now because film editing only has five nominees and Best Picture has 10. So there, for years it was like a death sentence if a film didn't get a film editing nomination, but was nominated for Best Picture.
Do you ever see a film and think to yourself it was a lousy job of editing?
Not really. Not really.
And that's, by the way, that's a good thing because you don't want to notice the editing.
Exactly. You
But
don't want to notice something that they may have missed.
because I don't know if we mentioned it on the air or I told you off the air. But that's one of the reasons I absolutely refuse watching stuff on Amazon because, and I've read about this, they actually cut out parts of films. It might be just a little bit, but whatever it is, I don't enjoy it. So film editing, interesting category. Next one, Mike.
Best documentary short film.
Again,
All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with the Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Children No More were and are gone. The Devil is Busy, Perfectly a Strangeness. All the Empty Rooms is my pick. That was Gold Derby's pick. It is an amazing but very sad short film. It is about it was written and produced and directed by Josh Seftel. If you watch CBS Sunday Morning, he
oh, I
is
do. Yeah.
he is the guy that has the segment with his mother. All the
Okay. Yeah.
He wrote, directed, and produced that. Uh, Steve Hartman, the other CBS Sunday Morning commentator, is the narrator for this film. And it is a film based on all these children who were children, separate children, but there's all the children that were murdered in life. And it's a sad film, but it's such an important film to see, and especially for parents with children.
By the way, Mike, thanks for mentioning what you just did. And for the benefit of folks who are not familiar with it, just talk briefly about the CBS Sunday morning show and what you think of it. Looking for something to
I
watch.
like CBS Sunday Morning. They've changed over the years. Uh, Before it used to just be mostly all entertainment and news
Right.
stories. The problem I have with them right now is they keep getting into current
I
things,
was going to say that.
wars, politics,
Right.
and it is annoying. The good thing about it is I watch it after it airs, so I can fast forward the
Right.
segments that I don't want to see.
Well, the other thing that annoys me about that, within the first 5 minutes, they had that financial commercial, for about 2 minutes, and they talk about these two guys talking about finances. And it's just a commercial, but they disguise it as a segment. It's not a segment, it's just a commercial. So that really
Mhm.
annoys me. But good point, and that's why I like doing it too. You can fast forward it, and you're absolutely right. It used to be they had great stuff. It just made you feel good, and now all of a sudden they have a lot of stuff in there, which is like I said. If I want to watch politics, I could watch politics, but I didn't watch that show for that reason. Good point.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel.
And so the advantage fast forwarding it, so you can take 90 minutes and becomes 70 minutes, so that's a really good point. But if folks are wanting to see something different, if they've never seen it, check it out. I think they'd like the show. Not up for an Oscar, Mike. What's next up for an Oscar?
Best documentary feature. Uh, and most of them are available to stream. I've only seen, uh, I don't know that I've seen any of them. But the documentary features nominations this year are The Alabama Solution, it's on HBO. Come See Me in the Good Light, Apple TV. Cutting Through the Rocks, which seems to be the one that's not available to stream. Uh, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, that is on Prime. And on Netflix, The Perfect Neighbor. Gold Derby went with The Perfect Neighbor. That seems to be the popular one. Think I saw the Alabama Solution, and let me just see if I can tell you if I did.
That's one about prisons.
Yes.
And I have to say, that's one I can at least say I saw. And I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't get into it at all. So I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw it.
It's in my watch list, but I haven't watched it yet. I think I started to when it was like, oh, this is way too heavy. So I've got a lot to try to watch this week and go back, but Gold Derby definitely went with the one on Netflix, The Perfect Neighbor. And
Let me ask you a question, Mike. When you
sure.
watch, do you have marathon sessions you watch like all day or all night?
Nah, I I I honestly can't sit still that long. It's but The Perfect Neighbor, which is streaming on Netflix, that everybody's picked that's going to win documentary. It says a minor disagreement between neighbors in Florida takes a lethal turn, with police, body camera footage, and interviews probing the aftermath of the state's controversial Stand Your Ground law.
Okay. And it's funny because Alabama Solution talks about, some of the that topic as well. So
Yeah,
again, the great thing, Mike, about movies, and even you and I discuss them, is that so many people have different opinions, and even I
exactly.
hate to say I disagree with you sometimes, but sometimes I do. You'll tell me to see a movie, it's great, and it's funny movies have that kind of feeling from people. And we'll
And
talk about,
that's what life's about. We don't always have to all agree on everything.
but good point, Mike, what you just said. But at least we can disagree and have fun with it and not curse you out,
Yeah,
and and,
exactly.
and insult you for having your opinion. Next category.
Exactly. Best costume design.
Okay.
Nominations are Avatar Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Gold Derby went with Frankenstein. Uh, I actually think that the costumes in Hamnet were excellent. And I'm actually going to go with Hamnet for costume design.
And it's funny, and I talked about this off the air, and we'll talk about Hamlet in just a little bit. But personally, I didn't love the movie, but yeah, good costume design. The one you just mentioned, though, Marty Supreme, though, I don't see it for costume design. I didn't know that there was much costume design in it, but we'll talk about the film in just a second.
And the
After that,
costumes in Sinners was very good too.
okay. And as you're talking, Mike, I'm thinking it could well be one of these years that Sinners sweeps almost like everything. Once they're on a roll, like 16 nominations. Wow. What's the most nominations? What's the most popular film ever in terms of awards? How many did they get?
Uh, The Lord of the Rings, the last one, The Return of the King, and Titanic had been tied for nominations prior to this year with 11 each.
And what's most any one film won, after the nominations?
The Lord of the Rings tied Titanic for wins.
Okay, how many? 8?
If I'm remembering correctly, 11.
Wow. So we'll see. This year could break that record. Next
Yes.
category.
We got our screenplay categories. We oh, I best animated feature. I almost missed that.
Okay.
The nominees are Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Emile, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2, and Gold Derby, and I'm going with the K-pop Demon Hunters. That film it's on Netflix, and it has been one of the most popular animated films in a long time.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not. I'm going to try to watch it this week. It seems a little bit like something that I don't know that I can get into, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Well, the same thing too, you mentioned like Zootopia 2, I don't
Yeah.
know if I'd rush out to see that one.
Yeah.
Do you and Donnie ever disagree on a film?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we do.
just like you and I do at times.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Next
Uh,
category.
Now we're coming up to the screenplay. Best original screenplay. Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Gold Derby went with Sinners. I went with also with Sinners. I think that the screenplay is great. I will say one thing, the screenplay for Blue Moon, Ethan Hawke's performance is amazing. The movie is so slow and boring. It was one of those films like, oh my God, is this movie ever going to get over?
Well, I'm glad you told me that because I love Ethan Hawke and just about anything he's in, but I'm not big into slow movie. I don't know about you, but Cynthia and I will sometimes after 5 minutes, we say we kind of know if it's slow and we're not enjoying it. So we're not typically big into slow movies. So that film I may pass on a little bit after
We
that.
both agreed. Donnie watched it with me, and we both agreed it was painful because it was so slow. But
Okay.
Hawk's performance is amazing. He won't win this year, but I mean, he gives a great performance, and his nomination is very well earned.
Okay. Now we're getting into, which is kind of cool, some of the bigger categories. Mike, what's next?
Yeah, best adapted screenplay, and the nominations are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. Uh, Gold Derby went with One Battle After Another. I am torn between that and Train Dreams, but I think I'm going to lean towards One Battle After Another. I think the screenplay for that was interesting, and it was a really good screenplay, and it will give Paul Thomas Anderson a chance to win 2 Oscars this year.
I'm glad you mentioned this because maybe based on what you're saying, I may revisit that film, but that was one I couldn't get into initially. After Best Adapted Screenplay, what's next?
Let's see. We did. We are coming up to. I'm going to keep Best Director. I'm going to go to the acting awards.
Okay.
Best Supporting Actress. And this was another surprise nomination. Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. Inga Edoster Lilius. I have no idea how to pronounce her name. Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan, Weapons. Uh, Wunumi Moscow Sinners. And Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another. Uh, Gold Derby went, and I'm definitely going with Amy Madigan. She was amazing in this film. Uh, she's never had been nominated or won anything before, but she won SAG last week and she won Critics' Choice. I will say my second favorite, and this is a really hard choice, but Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another gives an amazing performance. She won the Globe for that film, but I think this is definitely Amy's year. And I learned a little interesting fact about Amy Madigan that I did not know, that she's been married for 45 years in real life to Ed Harris.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think she's been in some movies with him at some point
And
in
they've
time.
been in movies together.
And you're
So,
saying that, boy, what was her? She's nominated for what film is it again?
weapons.
Okay, because it has me now making a note to myself. I should see that. So anything she's been
Yes.
in, I love. I love anything she's in. I love anything Ed Harris has been in. And so I'm putting this down, definitely to watch as well. So yeah, I'd like her to get it, but she's such a good actor, isn't she? And it's always Ed Harris. The two of them are just amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so good recommendation. Uh,
And weapons is about a whole bunch of kids that all disappear and vanish, and the mystery of what happened to these kids.
okay, good recommendation. Thanks, Mike. Next one.
Best supporting actor. Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo, Sinners. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. Stellar Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. Uh, Gold Derby went, and I definitely am going because his performance was amazing. I'm going with Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. His character was so amazing. Now, the interesting thing is they've had different winners in a lot of the award shows. Stellan won Golden Globe for Sentimental Value. And Jacob Elordi won Critics' Choice for Frankenstein. So it could be an interesting category. Benicio, I don't know why he was even nominated for this movie. He doesn't have a lot of screen time. His character's kind of funny, but definitely was not a performance that should have gotten a nomination.
And the other guy you mentioned, it's funny, didn't get a nomination in any of the other award shows, but Delroy Lindo has always been one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
He's another guy, anything I've seen him in, I enjoy. So I'll have to check out his performance as well.
And he's great. The great thing about Sinners won Best Cast Ensemble at SAG last weekend, which they now call the Actors Award. Uh, he was very gracious to the whole cast. He gave a great speech. If you haven't didn't see it, you need to YouTube it. And he gave a great acceptance speech. And I don't know if you know this, but he's one of the main characters on the CBS Paramount Plus series, The Good Fight.
Okay, don't watch it.
Yeah, he's
Don't-
in that. He's really good in that too. He's a very talented actor. Uh, but I think this is definitely Sean Penn's year. He uh he will add a third Oscar. The only thing was he came out and said some things about Oscars where he just was over having his awards at home and he wanted to take down. And that was before Oscar voting. I don't know if it's going to hurt him. It may, but I don't think it will. I think that he's really the strong winner for this category, and that'll be his third Oscar, and he'll join several other uh, people who have won three Oscars.
That's funny you say that. Yeah, why I would say that is strange, but he chose it. Okay,
Yeah,
next two, we're winding
Best
down.
Actress:
Yeah.
Jessie Buckley, Hamnet. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue. Renate Reinversi, Sentimental Values, and Emma Stone, Begonia. Gold Derby went with Jessie Buckley, Hamnet. Uh, she has swept award season this year. I think she will win, but personally, if I was an Oscar voter, as great as her performance is, I would go with Rose Byrne. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Any other years, Rose Byrne would win the award hands down.
It's funny, because I just saw it's on streaming now. Did you see that film?
I did, yes.
Okay. What
Really
did
good film.
because I love Rose Byrne and anything she's in. So thanks for the recommendation. I'll have to catch that
And
film.
she won Golden Globe for Best Actress Drama.
Yeah, great.
No, first, no, I take that back. She won Best Actress Musical Comedy. I'm not quite sure why they put that in the musical comedy category, but they did.
And I think we're in agreement in Buckley. I loved her performance, didn't love the film, you know.
Right. I
Uh,
didn't either. I agree with you.
but great performance. Now let's go to the big ones, the actor and actress.
Best Actor, Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent. Uh, so far, all the award shows have had different winners for Best Actor. So this will make a really interesting category. Gold Derby picked, and I am going with Michael B. Jordan because his performance playing the twins is just truly amazing. I think SAG got it right last week when he won over Timothy Chalamet. Uh, his performance of the twin brothers in the two different roles is just really superb.
And so Chalamet is up for
Marty Supreme.
Marty's Supreme. Yeah, the he was amazing in that as well. So I can't say the others, but he was amazing as well in that. And if he doesn't win that Best Actor, Mike, at least he'll win the award for Best Table Tennis Player.
He will. And you know what? The great thing about him in that role, and I think this is why he got nominated, and he's got nominated in all the awards, and he won the Critics' Choice uh, for Best Actor. He did not want any doubles
Oh, interesting.
in the film for him. He learned to play table tennis, and everything you saw was legitimately him playing the table tennis.
Wow, very interesting. But it could have fooled me because it didn't fool me. He looked very realistic playing table tennis.
Yeah, he learned to do that for that film, and that is really great.
But it's funny you talked earlier about a film I enjoyed, but that also was a little bit long, I thought. It could have
It
been
was.
it,
That
it,
seems to
it
be the case with most of the movies nowadays. They're just too long.
it's funny, just digress. Yeah, as I get older, it's same thing with shows also. I like a shorter show, than longer. The longer it doesn't add to it, but I definitely thought it was too long. And we have I think two final ones, best film, best director. So which do you want to take? Best film first?
Uh, I will go with Best Director. There we go.
Okay.
Uh, Nominees are Chloe Zhao Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, uh, Joka Chim Trier, Sentimental Value, Ryan Coogler, Sinners. Gold Derby went with, and I'm going with the same thing, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. He's been around for many years. He's never won before. He won DGA, which is a good indication that he'll win, and he also won Golden Globe. It's a good indication that he will win the Oscar. I think he won BAFTA too. The other one that I think could give him a run for his money, but he's not going to win, is Ryan Coogler, that directed Sinners.
Now,
You know, he would
back
be my second choice.
to Paul Thomas Anderson has directed. He's been up for awards before, right?
Yes, he was
And
nominated a couple years ago for that movie that came out. right after everything started opening up after COVID. Licorice Pizza.
Okay, missed that one, but
You didn't miss much.
and finally,
But
Mike, put you on the spot. The big one, best film.
best film. And can I share a screen? Will this allow me?
Sure.
Okay. And
Let
let me
me.
explain that
Very, very
I
cool.
did the rankings. Best Picture has what they call, and PGA uses this too. And a lot of times the PGA winner is definitely the Oscar winner. Uh, the PGA winner was One Battle After Another this year. Uh, Gold Derby picks that as their pick for Best Picture. I actually, and I'm going to share my screen, what the preferential ballot is that voters, and this is the only category they can do that, they get to uh, rank the pictures in the order that they think they will win. So you can have a case where
There you go. Good.
a film could rank as number two or number three and will win Best Picture if it has more votes than the number one. And it's a really interesting way to do it. It has created a lot of surprises in Best Picture, like the back-to-back years when Green Book won, which I thought was a wonderful
Me
film.
too. I agree.
And the next year, Coda came out of nowhere and won Best Picture, which was great because I love that film. And I don't know if you remember, but Lady Gaga presented that award with Liza Minnelli, and it was such a great moment. But anyway, I ranked my rankings of how I would vote if I was an Oscar voter on my preferential ballot for Best Picture. And I'm going with Sinners because I think that it having the most nominations and it's such a good movie that it is my number one choice. My second choice is One Battle After Another. Uh, Third is Hamnet. Fourth, Final Value. Fifth is Marty Supreme. Sixth, I have Train Dreams, which is really a good film. Seven, Frankenstein. Uh, Eight, The Secret Agent, which is an international film, as is Sentimental Value. Uh, Nine, Begonia, and 10, F1. Was a lot of buzz as to how or why F1 got a Best Picture nomination, but it ranks down at the bottom of everybody at Gold Derbies, the editors and the experts, and the combined odds. But it was very good. It definitely, in my opinion, deserved to be in the Best Picture nomination because it's done really well.
What's funny, so that's another film, Mike, and I want to thank you for this, that hadn't been on my list to even see, but now because of what you've said, I'll at least make a point to see it. So thank you on that recommendation.
Yeah, and it's what's really interesting is that two foreign films got great nominations. The Secret Agent has eight, and Sentimental Value has four. And Secret Agent is also now, it just came out this week. It is available to stream on Hulu.
Okay. Anyway, Mike, I'd like, as always, thank you for being my guest this edition of the Blaine's World podcast. Also, thank you, I think, for giving me a whole bunch of things I want to see now. I wasn't going to see, so because of you, I'll see them. And I also like to thank my producer, Cappy Dissetti. And I said, we'll see you either someplace in the movies or a show or for lunch one of these years. But this was great, Mike. Thank you
Absolutely.
much.
We'll have to have an after Oscar compare party.
Okay, this was great, Mike. Thanks an awful lot,
Thanks,
man.
Blaine. I
Okay,
appreciate it. I
and
love
by the
doing
way,
this every year.
I have to ask you the last question. So if
Sure.
somebody wants to follow Mike Martinelli in terms of seeing what he has to say about theater, about life as well, what's the best way to track you down?
On my Facebook page.
Okay. And Mike's very active on that and you'll enjoy reading his thoughts on movies, life as well. Good guy to follow. Mike, it's always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Blaine. Appreciate it.